Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program Capital Beat. Leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi turned 56 today. Birthday wishes for the Congress leader poured in from all quarters, including from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who wished him good health in a post on X. Now, while Congress leaders and workers celebrated Rahul Gandhi's birthday across the country, a controversy broke out over the celebrations by the Varanasi unit of the Youth Congress. Now, what did these people do? Youth Congress workers performed a puja on the banks of the Ganga, carrying a poster of Rahul Gandhi depicting him as Lord Parshuram. Now, the poster showed the leader holding an axe in one hand and a copy of the Constitution of India in the other. Now, these are the visuals, and we'll try and show. This is the visual which has caught controversy. You can see the poster of Rahul Gandhi, the Youth Congress workers pouring, showering petals, and at the same time pouring milk and Ganga water. And you can see the poster of Rahul Gandhi is depicted as Lord Parshuram. Parshuram is known to be a deity who carries this weapon, which in Hindi is called farsa, which is almost like a divine axe, the battle axe. It's called a battle axe. And so he has a battle axe in one hand and a constitution in the other. And this is the kind of hero worship which you see by the Youth Congress leaders. Now, many would say that this is another manifestation of giving tribute to leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi. But beyond that, there is a larger question. Why is a secular party like Congress forced to indulge in a hero worship like this? Isn't this hypocrisy? Because when leaders from BJP do it for Prime Minister Modi, there have been Congress leaders who've called out the act in the past. So why is this kind of an act allowed by the Congress? So far, none of the senior Congress leaders have reacted to this visual which has come from Varanasi this morning. But what we are reading as of now is that BJP has basically said, and the Congress workers, I'll just give you the detail of what this ritual is all about first. The Congress workers poured milk on the poster and performed a Rudrabhishek, accompanied by Vedic chants. Now, they also cut an 11 kg laddu cake and prayed for Rahul Gandhi's long, healthy, and successful life. But the act of depicting Rahul Gandhi as Lord Parshuram has led the BJP saying that this is unacceptable. It is an insult to Lord Parshuram. Congress leaders have lost their sense. Lord Parshuram is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. It is simply impossible and incomprehensible to compare Rahul Gandhi with Lord Parshuram. Those who oppose Sanatan Dharma cannot even think of comparing themselves with Lord Parshuram. This is what the Deputy Chief Minister, Brajesh Pathak, has said. Then similarly, BJP spokesperson Pradeep Bhandari has said that Congress workers insulted Lord Parshuram for 364 days. Congress leaders insult Sanatan Dharma, and on one day, they pretend to remember Lord Parshuram. People won't forget. So, the Congress, however, has defended the depiction. Vikas Singh, who is the president of the Varanasi Youth Congress, who organized the puja on the Ganga, he has said, and I'm quoting him, "These are our emotions towards our leader. The way Parshuram rid the earth of evil, Rahul Gandhi is also fighting the evil forces." Similarly, Alok Sharma, the Congress spokesperson, has defended the puja, saying that those who organize the event are themselves Brahmins and come from the lineage of Lord Parshuram. They just displayed their emotions. This is what is being said. So there are various questions. What is the symbolism behind this act? Why is Congress forced to indulge in an act like this? Is it not hypocrisy? This kind of a cult or a devotion or a worship seen on a birthday. The Congress, of course, will say that this is a way of giving tribute to your adorable leader. But why a secular party like Congress is indulging in an act like this is the big question. Joining me this evening is Sharat Pradhan, political analyst, author, and political commentator. Thank you so much, Sharatji, for joining. We have Sunita Aron, who is the consulting editor of Hindustan Times Lucknow, author. Thank you so much, Sunita ji, for joining. We have Shaira Naeem, who's a senior journalist and political commentator, joining us from Lucknow. In fact, all the three are joining me from Lucknow: Sharaji, Sunita ji, and Shaira ji. And we have Professor Tanveer Ejaz from Delhi's Ramjas College. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining. And let me begin with Sunita Iran. Sunita, what do you feel about this act? Is this an unnecessary controversy, and Congress could have really avoided it? You'll have to unmute yourself. Sunita ji, unmute yourself.
Sorry. Yes, certainly they should have avoided it, and they should have known what exactly Rahul Gandhi would have liked, because Rahul is on a different journey altogether, where he's talking about education, he's talking about health services, he's talking about development, progress, but somehow I think his party men don't even follow that, the way, the trajectory that he's following, that his own party leaders are not doing. But I don't know, there are just a handful of guys there. I think one can count them also. They don't
Yes.
even look like members of Youth Congress. There was a time when Youth Congress people used to do blood donation camps. I remember them holding blood donation camps and doing some social service in hospitals on such occasions. But I think they are in Kashi, and they can't even think beyond, all these things, Parshuram and all. It's, there is no harm. What they wanted to, I think, send a message was that he will uphold constitution, come what may be. And it is also because, he has constitution, and Parshuram because it's basically killing adharma, the victory of dharma over adharma. So, if they wanted to send that message, they could have done it in a much better way, which was different from what BJP does. And Ajay Rai, the state president, comes from Varanasi only. So to believe that the party was not aware of it, I think it won't be proper. He must have known about it. They could have thought something very innovative, something similar to the line that Rahul has adopted right now, and
Right.
to that instead of doing this. Standing in Ganga and Parshuram and offering all that. It doesn't go with the Congress secular character.
Absolutely. In fact, I'll come to Sharaji now. It doesn't go with the Congress character, especially the character which Rahul Gandhi displays. It doesn't go at all. So, why do you think that the local unit of Congress over there in Varanasi thought of doing a thing like this? Is it that they are trying to gain brownie points with the senior leadership of the Congress? Now, did they not know that this kind of hero or a cult worship will not be appreciated by the Congress High Command also?
Well said. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys who are involved in this ritual uh, have been planted by someone, and they are congressmen, all right. But exactly their motive, their objective is to gain some brownie points. A group of sycophants, because to be doing this kind of a thing to Rahul, I mean, I have nothing against Rahul Gandhi going to a temple. That is not against secularism of the party. But this kind of a ritual, this symbolic thing, is certainly what Rahul Gandhi would not like, and the Congress party doesn't believe in this kind. Although, let me also, having said that, one should also remember that Modi, when it comes to Modi, he projects himself as God, and everybody claps. And if any Congress wala goes to a temple, they say, "Oh, look here, he's going to a temple," as if it is their copyright, their exclusive right over temples. So this is, to that extent, there is nothing wrong in his moving around and going to temples, worshipping, whatever. He has as much right as Modi has. But this kind of symbolism fits better with Modi, because this is the kind of thing he has done earlier. You must have seen him in all kinds of attires. And then to top it all, Mr. Modi went to the extent on a boat on this Ganga and at Varanasi. He went to the extent of telling one Aaj Tak correspondent how he was non-biological, which they consider God. Although, for me, non-biological, even ghosts are non-biological. So anyway, leaving that aside, this kind of a culture is certainly not the Congress culture, and it is not going to give them any leeway, because people know what the Congress is, and this will BJP will take undue advantage. This may prove counterproductive because BJP is already out. All their guns are trained at Rahul Gandhi, and they are terming it as if it's a disgrace to Parshuram. If Modi becomes Parshuram, then it is great because he is entitled to it. But Rahul Gandhi is not. So BJP taking this much sense they should have had, and I'm sure, but I wonder why so far there is no reaction to this from the top Congress leadership. It should have been one, but describing it as insult to Sanatan is
But the
bullshit.
very silence, Sharaji, the very silence from the senior leadership of the Congress, does it not go to show that this was some sort of a breach or an overreach which the local unit did? And apparently that's the reason why the senior leaders are quiet about it.
You're absolutely right. There is the reason to believe that at some level people knew about it, and this is that group of sycophants supported by another group of sycophants. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll impress Rahul Gandhi by doing this. And look here, we are countering the BJP campaign. This is not done. And here this what this Dinesh Sharma is saying. It's fine to offer milk, that is understandable, but installing someone in the form of God is not appropriate. How can any God be compared to human being? Politicians should avoid such kind of acts and programs. He should tell this to Modi also, because this is the first time that Rahul has been projected in this manner. Modi does it. I don't know. Innumerable times he has done this, but
Yeah.
because he's God for the BJP, so they don't mind it. Anybody else doing it will be condemned, rebuked, and looked down upon, and especially if happens to be Rahul Gandhi.
Right. But Shairaji, I'll come to you now. The Congress leader over there, Vikas Singh, who's the president of the Varanasi Youth Congress, he said that these are our emotions towards our leader, the way Lord Parshuram rid the earth of evil. Rahul Gandhi is also fighting evil forces. Then the Congress spokesperson Alok Sharma says that those who organize the event are themselves Brahmins and come from the lineage of Lord Parshuram. And then, all the reports are there which are describing that Lord Parshuram is the sixth avatar of Lord Vishnu, known as the Brahma Kshatriya, possessing both Brahman and Kshatriya traits. He's celebrated as a fierce warrior sage who annihilated unrighteous kings to restore cosmic order. He's considered as one of the seven Chiranjeevis, that is the immortals in Hindu mythology. Now, why is this combination of Brahmins and Kshatriyas getting resonance? Do you think that this has got to do something with the elections, with the UP elections, and deliberately maybe that this is an act which has been planned by the local unit of Congress over there?
I think this single act, has done more damage to what Rahul Gandhi stands for than any other thing. In the election year where he is standing, he's fighting for a more inclusive Congress, and he stands for including the backward, the Dalits, and everything. This projection of the upper caste and this very, this kind of an act which has religious significance and connected to the Brahmins and projecting him as a god. All this goes against the grain of what this leader stands for and what he has been striving for in the last couple of years. These people, if they truly belong to the Youth Congress, they should be thrown out for not understanding what Rahul Gandhi is trying to project, or what the paradigm shift which he is trying to bring into the party, to make it inclusive, to include the people on the margins of society, to make them belong to the mainstream of Congress. This kind of act is completely not what the Congress, or what Rahul Gandhi is trying to project as the Congress ideology. So I don't know why, or it was an act of sabotage, as far as it could be, that very much possible to sabotage image of Congress as a secular party, as a party which is projecting PTA and the constitution rights of the marginalized in just on the eve of elections. So I see it like that. I don't think this is an act of glorification of Rahul Gandhi. It is to damage the Congress and damage what he stands for.
Feel that this has damaged Congress. Professor Tanvir, if I may come to you, what is your feeling about this kind of a hero worship and the very fact that the senior leadership of Congress is quiet about it? But is it not a very catch-22 situation for Congress? Because if you just go by the optics, the visuals, of course, Rahul Gandhi is glorified. A lot of people within the Congress will feel happy that, oh, there's a hero in Congress too, over whom we are trying to pour Ganga water and milk, and then you have the laddu cake. But at the same time, it also puts Congress in a very sticky position. So, is this a very difficult situation for Congress to handle? And the silence of the senior leadership of the Congress does show that.
Yeah, I think this whole act of deification of Rahul, the Congress would be in a catch-22 situation because, politically, of course, there is going to be some kind of a dividend to this act. Why I'm saying this is because, India is egregiously religious country where you see, at the end of the day, the mobilization takes place on the basis of caste and religion, right? So, and of course, as you said, there's UP election around the corner, and there's an attempt, of course, to bring in the upper caste, to bring in Dalits, to bring in Muslims, of course, with their own contradictions. But there is an effort, right? How much this is being, done by the Congress is a question that we need to explore. But if it is done by the Youth Congress, a handful of, let's say, activists, Youth Congress activists doing it, then it's their way of sort of sending a message through religion. But let me tell you, Congress has never been anti-religion. Of course, they are secular, but it has never been anti-religion, right? And this whole process, as a part of some sort of a religious activity, is not an instrument of hate. Actually, there are parties who are using religion as an instrument of hate and polarization. Through this, I don't think that there is any kind of polarization with this simple act, right? Yes, of course, there is deification. Rahul himself would not like it. I am sure that he would not like it because the kind of politics that he is doing at the moment, he would not like it. But and of course, most of the congressmen would not like it.
If I may just interrupt you,
Yeah,
will
yeah.
if Rahul and everyone who knows Congress closely would surely say that Rahul will not like this act. But will Rahul make his displeasure about this act known? Will he haul up the people? Because Congress is known to be a party which is okay with all these kind of disruptions. I think Sharaji wants to say something, and then I'll come back to you, Professor Tanvi. Yes,
Yeah.
Sharaji.
I have something to say in continuation of what you asked, because I feel that it is very difficult. Rahul is in a catch-22 situation now, because if he utters anything, or even any congressman utters something against this, then BJP will again, it's going to take it to town saying, "Hey, look here, he is anti-Hindu Sanatan, because now he has withdrawn himself. He did not like this. First they didn't like it, then they're going to blame it on him for doing so. So it is understandable that Congress is in a catch-22 situation. So silence is the best course they have adopted.
Right. Okay, Professor Tanvi. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that look, in India, this whole political mobilization, takes place on the basis of caste and religion, and sometimes, of course, class also takes a position, right? So, so this is one of the ways in which mobilization is being sought by Congress. It is for sure that I'm not so sure that it is a spontaneous act. It is not. I think it's not a spontaneous act. Youth Congress must have decided about it to go ahead with it. A handful of them, maybe a group, whatever you can call them, within the Youth Congress. But when they had decided, of course, the message must have gone right ahead. So most of the Congress people, I think they would not have objected to it, and of course they would say they would have said that, I mean, you go ahead with whatever you are doing. I mean, it's not a very big issue, right? But yes, uh, those parties, because I think UP is now in for a competitive communalism. See, the act per se is not communal, right? But how you use it becomes very communal, in a sense that when this whole act leads to certain kind of polarization and appropriation, and then demonization of certain categories and certain communities, then it becomes communal act, right? Which of course I think Congress is not going to do. It is I think it's going to be done by the BJP, as the tweet,
Absolutely.
some of the members who are talking about. Therefore they have gained, so it's their politics to communalize. And Congress of course can, as one of the panelists said, that can simply brush it aside as an act of some youthful, some youth Congress activists doing this act. But it's not a very great act. See, Rahul at the moment is not at all concerned about all these aspects of religion. Rather,
Yes.
his whole plank of social justice goes against the very credo and the way in which how religion is being practiced in India. So his and that's the reason I think the symbol also is quite interesting, that in one hand, he's having the constitution. So for
Constitution,
Rahul,
yeah.
so for Rahul, I think it is the constitution which I think is very important, and all his actions over the last few years, not few years, but
Generally,
over the last.
if we don't go by what the act is, but the symbolism, isn't that symbolism powerful? Because on one hand, he has a constitution, the other hand, he holds the battle axe. And what does the imagery indicate? Does it indicate that, okay, anyone who destroys the constitution, then Rahul Gandhi will play the role of Lord Parshuram?
Yeah,
Right.
so see, Lord
Yeah,
Parshuram is about defeating the evil. So let
yes,
me broadly talk about this. That look, it is a response to the BJP's communal politics. That look,
Right.
don't think that Rahul is anti-religion or Rahul is
Yeah.
anti-Hindu. Rahul is not anti-Hindu. He has made it very clear through his acts and the way how he respects all religion. He has made it very clear.
Very true.
He's not anti-religion, right? So just to make it clear that look, Rahul is not anti-Hindu. Rahul is not anti-upper caste. Rahul is not anti, a certain category. So he is very much there, right? He is very much there, and
Right.
he is one of the leader. From amongst us only, right? So that is the message on the one hand, but on the other hand, the message is also very clear that he will fight for the constitution. The placement of constitution in his hand makes it very clear that he will fight for the constitution. The other party, the party with against whom Congress is fighting, doesn't care two hoots about the constitution, has subverted
That's
the
right.
constitution through all its procedures and wranglings and etc. So that is the message what the youth Congress is giving. I think, at one level, I think it is creative, going into the the way how Indian politics is played, right? Not the European politics, but how Indian politics is played. I think it's very interesting that you have a constitution, because in India, the religion is not disjointed from the state. Never, right? In India, secularism, the brand of secularism that we follow is that somehow, you have a principal distance between state and religion, and that is the principal
right.
distance, perhaps, what these people have done. So I would rather say it's not a very 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 an act which needs to be glorified, but it is just the other way around, that it is the act which is being glorified by the BJP, not by the Congress. So that is the
Mhm.
Right.
real question.
No, but I
And
come
to
to
the
Sunita ji, that is this an effort of Congress to project its soft Hindutva image just before the UP elections, and what better could have been the day other than Rahul Gandhi's birthday? And they've tried to pay the tributes. They've put out an imagery which was perfect to the picture, and at the same time they've sent out a message. So would in BJP's and mainstream media's language, the legacy media's language, is this Congress's master stroke? Though I hate to use this word, but I'm forced to ask you this question.
Nilu, if you look at it again, I'll say that it's not a party program. It's done by some individual and his supporters. So I
Okay.
don't know, nowhere I see any banner of Youth Congress or anything, whatever pictures, visuals I can see. So it's
Right.
something done by one
No, but when
individual
you say,
and
so
not,
Geetaji, when you say, so allow me to interrupt you. When you say that these don't look like party people, or maybe some individual who's a supporter of Congress and he's done it, so this could be a conspiracy also to
Nilu,
sabotage Rahul Gandhi's birthday.
Nilu, how do I mean, for such a small event, I think by tomorrow, people will forget it also. And it is not actually, it goes against the character of the programs that Rahul is pursuing right now, the politics that he's pursuing. Otherwise, I'm telling you, even Muslims won't react to it, not Hindus would react to it. Having said so, yes, how do we get to know who's a congressman or who's a BJP guy or a Mayawati's follower? By their scarves, by the scarves that they wear. I don't see anybody wearing a tricolor or, usually
Yeah,
the BJP
that's true.
guys are wearing a saffron and then the blue and all that. So, what I'm trying to say is that they live in Kashi. They can't go beyond dharam, religion. So they thought, look at them. They're just not even 10, including the Pandit who is helping them with the puja. So had it been a party function. Now let me come to that. Had it been a proper program organized by the party, even if it is a district unit or a city unit of Youth Congress, then it would have been something to take note of. I think as Rahul has decided not to even comment on it or even maintain silence, it is that. But it certainly shows that the party leaders actually don't understand what their leader wants. They actually don't understand how their leader would want them to function, how they would have wanted them to celebrate his birthday. They can't go beyond few things, and they think that Sanatani rehna hai to survive. So they thought, okay, let's do like this. We are in Kashi. We have to have Ganga. We'll have Parshuram, and we'll have Constitution. So they picked up Rahul's Constitution and rest from the Varanasi culture. So I think it will not have much. There'll be some statements, and BJP will try to make some statements. There'll be reactions, but beyond that, if you look at caste communities, Dalit,
Right.
backwards, they won't be impacted. Even Muslims won't be impacted by such.
Right.
I'll put it very flimsy act. That is
Right,
it.
it is. It is. But the very fact, I mean, when I saw the visuals, I immediately it caught attention because of the scale at which it was getting viral. And
Yeah,
Shalaji,
yeah.
if I come to you, a flimsy
Nilu,
symbol
these
like this.
must remember just one thing.
Yes.
Nilu, these people must remember that today in this era of technology, social media, they have to be careful. Otherwise, I'm telling you, not even this must is happening at Ganga. 2 kilometers away, people wouldn't have known because the scale of the event
Yeah,
is such.
that's true.
But
That's true.
now, because of social media, it got so much of.
Right, absolutely. Shalaji, if I may come to you,
Yeah.
if you
Mm.
go on X, I mean, which is formerly called Twitter, this is one of the top trending subjects. Why do you think that this moment had so much of virality? Like it just became viral, it spread like a wildfire, and everybody is commenting. And how does one respond to particular to a trend like this?
You see the way BJP has gone to town with this, and BJP is responsible for making it viral. Their intention is to capitalize on this by terming, yeah, like now so many clips that you have shown in everyone, they are saying that what he is doing is insulting the sentiments of Sanatis, which is nonsense. I agree with what Dr. Tanveer said. Dr. Tanveer said that at the end of the day, I I feel that this is not going to be. In the beginning I said maybe counterproductive. This will not be counterproductive, and Congress needs to maintain complete silence on this. Because the moment the BJP is provoking them, to make a statement. And the moment they make a statement, that will damage the Congress more. So I think whatever, whether it has been done with permission, I doubt if it has been done with permission, because as Sunita said, the number of people who are there is just a handful. There ought to have been, if there was a proper youth congress show, they would certainly be carrying banners. They love to, all leaders love to display there, and there would have been more people. This is a small section which probably thought that of sycophants who thought that they'll make some brownie points. But again, I repeat that they, because Rahul is not seen. This is not communal act. This is a religious act. The difference between the Congress and the BJP is the BJP uses religion to foment hatred against Muslims. Congress may be accused of appeasing Muslims, but they have never believed in creating this hatred. That is the world. That is a world of a difference. What these guys are doing reminds me only of one man on this earth. That's Hitler. Just as he went about creating the show hatred against Jews, BJP is doing exactly again that the same thing against Muslims, and they try to give a twist to everything. So that is what they are trying to do. Yes, this was an avoidable thing, but now that it is there and it is going viral, I think by remaining silent, they will be, if the Congress will be able to serve its purpose, whatever little it might be, to
Right.
at least not be able to, so that BJP is not able to paint him as anti-religious, anti-Hindu. This is what they keep doing. They sometimes refuse to accept him as a Hindu also, because he has the Parsi roots. So this
Right.
is, BJP is bound to do this. But
Right.
we as journalists need to see, and Congress party, now they should restrain these guys from doing it, enhancing this kind of a campaign. If
Right.
some other fool tries to do it in another state, that will become a big joke. So it's
One,
time that
like,
Congress
right.
acts only by restraining these guys from going any further.
Right. All right. Now I'll come to the three of you. Sorry, Shairaji and Tanveer. That it's a flimsy act. All said and done, it's a flimsy act which has just gone viral, given the power of social media, and we've chosen to discuss this as a journalist, and especially as a journalist on the digital media who's active. Uh, is Was it prudent to just go with the flow of this visual, because it has politics, it has optics, it has a powerful symbolism as well, and the right moment, which is Rahul Gandhi's birthday? Shaira ji, what would you say?
Well, as I said earlier, that is, this was uncalled for, but it is not going to cause any harm to the Congress. This much I'm pretty confident. It is not going to
Right.
cause any harm, because it is a very, for on their part also, they may be trying to make their brownie points, but they are not portraying him as a
Right.
murderer, as a
All
killer, or as somebody who is indulging in an act of communalism, which
right.
the great Saffron leaders do enough every
Right.
each and every day.
Yeah. So I'll go to Shaira
Well,
ji now.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
Shaira ji, yes.
yes, yes.
Go ahead,
I,
please.
I think this occasion could have been used in a much better way, because Kashi is not only a city; it also was the city of Ravidas. It was also the city of Kabir. It was also the city of Bismillah Khan. So all these icons who belong to that place. Uh, could have been included in some kind of a very creative thing for the Congress, where Congress stands today, where Rahul Gandhi stands today. It could have been done creatively, and
Yeah,
I think that the Congress should not react, as I agree with Sharad, because it will get into more controversy and it will become. Right now, if we don't see any damage, but then the damage would be done if senior Congress
if
people
they react.
react this way or the
Right.
other way. They should just keep silent. But I don't think people who did this really thought about it and thought it out of where it will kind of where the image of the Congress will be seen after this, because it's these people or anybody, even a common person, knows that
Right.
today's digital world, you can't you it will just multiply and go out of your hand as soon as the image is out there on the social media. So nobody can say that it
Right.
was a small act of a couple of people
Absolutely.
showing showering
The
their
very fact that
figures.
digital media and any powerful visual carries a lot of weight on the digital media. And my concluding question to you, Professor Tanveer, is that should a journalist have got driven by this optics today? That is also a question. A few people can just dismiss, and a few people will just go with the flow of the story and with the power of this image alone. So, and I find that a lot of news websites have done the story. I'm seeing NDTV has done it. Then a couple of other the print has done it, and everybody has taken a different take altogether. But as a journalist, how much should you really be emphasizing on pictures like these? Because sometimes it holds the risk of calling the story very flimsy. I think we have a bite of Shahzad Poonawala. Let's play that out, and
वो
then I'll
कहते
get it
हैं
on.
पीक अंधभक्ति। ये है कांग्रेस के चमचे। आईएनसी का मतलब बना देना चाहिए इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस नहीं, आई नीड चमचे। माना कि आपके सबसे प्रमुख डेटी, आपके भगवान, आपके लॉर्ड गॉड राहुल गांधी का जन्म दिवस है, पप्पू दिवस है। 56 ईयर्स ओल्ड हो चुके हैं, युवा नेता। रॉकेट लॉन्च करते हैं, पर लॉन्च करने के बाद डेस्टिनेशन पर नहीं पहुंच पाती है रॉकेट। परंतु इसका मतलब ये है कि आप भगवान का और हिंदू आस्था का मजाक उड़ाएंगे क्या? ये देखिए, ये क्या कर रहे हैं? परशुराम जी से तुलना, मतलब विष्णु जी के अवतार से तुलना राहुल गांधी की, किसी पॉलिटिकल पर्सन की। अरे चमचो, आप तो दूसरों को अंधभक्त अंधभक्त कहते हैं। ये अंधभक्ति की डेफिनेशन है, ये पीक अंधभक्ति है। और देखिए, ये देखिए, दूध से नहला रहे हैं राहुल जी को, दूध से। ये वही इकोसिस्टम है, जब महादेव जी पर या शिवलिंग पर दूध अर्पित किया जाता है आस्था के अनुसार, तो ये रोते हैं, बोलते हैं दूध बच्चों को पिला दो, दूध वेस्ट किया जा रहा है। और यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? मतलब आस्था पर करोगे चोट, क्योंकि चाहिए वोट बैंक का वोट। ये है पीक अंधभक्ति, ये है इनका दोहरा चरित्र, और ये दिखाता है कि राहुल गांधी
Right.
Look who's talking. This Shahzad Poonawala is a 200% chamcha of the BJP, and he has the cheek to call these guys chamchas. What a
Right.
shame.
Right. Okay, Professor Tanveer. That's
No,
right.
yeah,
It's
so,
an interesting bite.
but
But what would you say towards the end? Yes, Professor Tanveer.
No. I think you've asked two questions. One, of course, I want to say that the way in which how BJP has got alarmed and the way this whole episode has become viral makes it very clear that Rahul Gandhi has arrived. That is very clear, right? He has arrived and he is making a lot of impact, on the minds of at least BJP, right? Secondly, see, the act was not done by Rahul himself, right? It was done by few of his youth Congress workers, right? So that should not be taken as something a program or a plan of Congress, in terms of political mobilization. That one has to see during political mobilization, which will start in UP. But the fact is that in India, what I was talking about, that we do have this kind of a political culture. Look, down south in Tamil Nadu, for example, right? So much of deification, I mean,
Absolutely.
so and nobody says anything about it, right? So and it's not taken in a very negative way. And BJP doesn't react to the parties like AIDMK, whose leaders are being deified day in and day out, right? So the point is, what I understand is that I'm giving full marks to Rahul Gandhi is because I think he has now arrived. He's making a connect with all sections of the society. He's made a connect with Gen Z. He's made a connect with, of course, Muslims. He's made a connect with Dalits. He's made a connect with, now, of course, the upper caste he's trying to make a connect with, right? So it's not a reflection on Rahul Gandhi. All these acts is a reflection on those who get mobilized by these acts, right? And that's what I'm trying to say. It's a reflection on the voters rather than those who are mobilizing,
Right.
There's one small thing I'd like to add, Neelu, one very small thing.
Yes, sure.
I also suspect that at this juncture, this might help the BJP to draw the attention of people from the Chori in Ayodhya Ram Temple. So, the focus will go straight. Why I'm saying this? Because the mainstream media has been showing this. So they could be. I have this suspicion.
There is merit in what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, all said and done, if you look at the pictures, these pictures since morning, they are viral and they're still trending on the social media. But towards the end, just think about the hypocrisy angle, the hypocrisy aspect on both sides, whether it is BJP, whether it is Congress. It exists on both sides. If it happens to Prime Minister Modi, if the Ganga water and milk is offered to Prime Minister Modi's portrait, there's been a Modi Chalisa, or probably a temple, there is no harm. The BJP will not say anything. But yes, if it happens to Rahul Gandhi, this is a hypocrisy factor which we were trying to just bring out through this powerful image. And the big question that should the Congress be indulging, a secular party like Congress should be indulging in this kind of an act? But thank God the Congress leadership, the senior leadership, has not reacted. So maybe yes, the shelf life of this particular optics will just be for a few hours or maybe for 24
Right.
hours. And post 12 a.m., who knows? The story will be gone and forgotten. So we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Professor Tanveer,
Thank you.
Sunita, Sharaji, Shaira. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.